Punchlines for December 19th, 2025, the 333rd day of the Sex Offender Administration. Donald Trump signed an executive order on Thursday to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule 1 drug to a Schedule 3 drug. Marijuana remains illegal for recreational use at the federal level, but it could open the door to more research into marijuana and expanded medical uses. If marijuana use was truly criminal, Trump would have pardoned it. The U.S. military conducted a strike against another alleged drug trafficking boat in the eastern Pacific Ocean on Wednesday, killing 4 people. Wednesday's attack marks the second this week after the U.S. struck 3 alleged drug trafficking boats in the eastern Pacific Ocean on Monday, killing 8 people. At least 99 people have now been killed in strikes on suspected drug boats as part of a campaign to oust President Maduro from power. Maduro could be the only president Trump hates more than former President Obama. What did Brown do to you? American rapper Wiz Khalifa was sentenced by a court in Romania on Thursday to 9 months in jail for drug possession. Wiz Khalifa will have some killer rhymes in 9 months, in Romania no less. For the second year in a row, North Korea's vast cryptocurrency hacking operation has broken its own record of $1.3 billion by stealing $2.02 billion in 2025. That brings the country's total stolen crypto to around $6.75 billion. Shit, that's almost real money. This has been a Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for December 19th, 2025, the 333rd day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Blah, blah, blah. Wow, everything's loud. What happened? Is it me? I got loud. Something loud, man. The button pushing loud, man. Oh, I have to go over here and go live.
Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Ugly as fuck. Oh my God. Hold on. You just hold on there.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
I don't know. I don't know about any of that. Bunka, 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 bunka. Yeah, take that guitar away from that guy with his unka, bunka, bunka, bunka. Unka, unka, unka. Although, if you'd like to buy a new Les Paul, I have one. Good morning, folks. It is Friday, I guess. It's a Friday, right? It's December something, 19th, 2025. I'd like to cancel today, except for the fact that the Epstein files, the Epstein-Trump files, as they should be renamed. I think the Kennedy Center announced, decided unanimously that they're going to rename the Epstein files as the Epstein-Trump files. They're due out today, but you know what? There'll be some redactions. There'll be all sorts of hide my name, and who knows? They might just bomb Venezuela or something, because he said yesterday, I don't need Congress. I'm just gonna, I could start a war. I'm allowed. I should be allowed to do that. Anyway, I'd like to cancel today. It's it's pretty warm out. It's raining hard. It's one of these days you just want to lay in bed, listen to the rain. If you're like me, maybe have a Snickers bar, not a real Snickers bar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you're not yourself when you're not stoned. So we have two people scheduled today. Elizabeth Croydon. You never know, right? She's put herself on the calendar. Does that mean she's going to be here? Maybe. First hour. And then second hour, Mandy Alexis, who is a former drug addict. That's not a way to put it. She's a person who's gone from addiction to entrepreneurship. And she'll tell us about her business that she runs, which seems to be selling photographs of mellow places on canvas. And I don't know. Maybe she's want to sell Napo art. I don't know if you're familiar with Napo art. But it's the latest trend in cryptoids. Yeah, the Brown University guy. Remember a couple of days ago, they all laughed at me. They all laughed. They're going to laugh at you. They're going to laugh at you. Like I was Carrie and I had blood all over me. They're going to laugh at you. What happened? I didn't talk to you. Turns out the shootings are linked. As I said, they seem to be. The same guy did both, the Brown shooting and the MIT professor. This guy who did it actually did himself in a storage place in New Hampshire. What do they need storage places in New Hampshire for? New Hampshire, you just dump the stuff, whatever. So he's dead there. He's dead and nothing can bring him back. I'm sorry. No apparent motive. It's kind of scary, though. I said that, both these universities, they got some scary technology going on there. The guy he murdered in MIT was a nuclear scientist. Apparently knew that guy. No details, no specifics on the murder or motive or any of this stuff. But there'll be more. You know what? There's going to be another shoe drop. Well, that wasn't a shoe. That was something else. And then there's the stuff about cover-up of texts of Crooks. Is that his name? Crooks, Thomas Crooks, the guy who supposedly shot at near around. He shot a fireman in Pennsylvania, Butler, Pennsylvania, and Trump had a squib in his hand and cut his ear and said, "Look, oh, my ear's cut. I must have been hit by a bullet." Some kind of cover-up going. I don't know the details of that either. So if you tune in for details and actual news or anything that means anything to anybody, you've tuned into the wrong place. Also, YouTube has been having a lot of trouble. So if you're watching us on YouTube, and you're not watching us on YouTube because we're not really on YouTube, or we might be on YouTube, but so you're not there and I'm not there because it might be there, is all I'm saying. And so if you're someplace else, you should be someplace else. Unfortunately, I would rather you be on YouTube, but YouTube might not be there for you to be on YouTube. So if you're not seeing me on YouTube, then what am I talking to? If you got all that? Read it back to me. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. Yeah, no, it doesn't sound right. Anyway, Daily High Club's got some shit going on. And when I say shit, I mean good deals. As opposed to the other kind of shit that's going on. So you just go over. You know what? It's a good kind of day to just lay in bed, wait for the Epstein Trump files to come out, and then you say, "Oh, look, we got a president that's a diddler." Yeah. Who knew? Except everybody.
The opinions expressed on this program are those.
Not Daily High Club, you dopey button pusher.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now, is that Rain? Ron Kane in the Rain? Ron, who that should be a John Fogel, John, whatever, Fogel sang, Fogel Few, Fogelberg, whatever,
Maybe.
Creedence
It's
Clearwater.
definitely raining, though.
All right. Pouring rain. Ron Kane. Good morning, Ron. And also in the room, that other guy. Gee Whiz Fenderson. Gee Whiz. Good morning.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. I forgot to write something for this part, so new episodes of Done Way Past Funny are coming in January. Check them out. 2026 new episodes of Done Way Past Funny with new comedians and new material and new shit. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
You didn't really forget. You're on strike.
I did. I forgot.
You're on strike. Well, we're going to be union busters. You with your dopey little strike there. We're not buckling. You're not getting paid more. We're not increasing your benefit package. I don't know what you're striking for, but forget about it.
I don't know what you're talking about. So that makes two of us not knowing something.
All right then. So yeah, you all laughed at me. You all laughed at me. You're gonna laugh?
I didn't laugh at you. I mocked you. There's a difference.
All right, you mocked me. You said the brown. I see. I was right. So go ahead. Tell me I was right. You were right. That's right. I was.
I still haven't confirmed it. I still don't know. You know, and I didn't totally disregard. Just that it was possible.
All right. What do you think the motive? You want to guess?
I don't even know who the hell did. I don't know anything.
Portuguese. Another nuclear physicist.
Again,
nuclear.
This is weird. Usually, when I research the news for the Reverend, I type in today's headlines, and it gives me like all these papers, it's like one location for all this stuff, and it hadn't updated from the news from the day before. It would show me the exact same news. They had not uploaded anything new.
Huh.
And so I was caught to research, on my own, whatever I could find, and I didn't see anything about it in there.
Oh wow! It's all over my feed everywhere, and this Apple News app, it sends me notifications even if I say no, don't send me notifications. It sends me notifications. So it was going off crazy last night. The guy was like hid up in a self-storage place. Like, that's a dumb place to kill yourself. Go home. If you're gonna kill yourself, but maybe a golf course.
But on the other hand, if he paid up his mortgage, the rent there for, let's say, to the end of the month, why not? Somebody else has got to clean it up, and he doesn't owe any money.
Because it's cold in there. You don't want to die in a cold. Do you want to die in a cold?
We've already discussed that. If it's cold, that's the way you want to die, because your brain goes to this place of that's hypothermia. Cold and hypothermia are quite the same thing.
Right. Well, hypothermia is frostbite, right?
Well, not exactly.
Oh, they call that hypothermic shock. Frostbite. Anyway, you ready for the Trump Epstein files? You ready? You excited? You're on the edge of your seat. You can't wait.
I don't get excited about things like that until way later.
So everyone still has to pretend that, he hasn't been to that island.
No. Nobody has to pretend anything. I have to pretend that I'm an artist today.
No, they are pretending. I mean, every time you see that guy interviewed every day or on TV, it's like no one's bringing it up. It should be the first question of the day that he has to ask.
They're scared of him because he's going to call me a name. I don't want to be called a name. I want to be called Baldy Napo. I'm not going to ask him about stuff that he's going to call me bald.
I mean, he still hasn't gone around the neighborhood to let people know that he moved in.
Yeah.
That's because he's an unregistered sex offender, Ron. He doesn't have to tell people. He's an unregistered sex offender.
Where do you register for that?
DMV.
All right. Maybe I don't know.
They have a line for everything.
Is it? Yeah. You know what occurred to me? And listen, not much occurs to me. But what occurred to me this morning, because in one of the pre-release, I don't know, they're leaking little stuff here and there. This 14-year-old girl was told by her, she was a model looking to start modeling, that told her to dress sexy and go to Mar-a-Lago, according to her mother. Now, where was her mother saying, they're telling you to dress sexy, you're 14 years old, maybe don't. Maybe don't go. Her mother should. But according to the mother, Marla Maples went up to her and grabbed her daughter by the hand and said, grabbed the mother by the hand and said, don't allow your daughter near these men, especially my husband. Now, that's first thing we've heard from Marla Maples in 9 years about this.
We didn't hear that from Marla Maples, though, right?
Right, but that's what I was going to say. Marla Maples has been suspiciously silent on all. She hasn't said one word publicly about this directly to anybody. Right? We're hearing hearsay from the mother. We need to hear from if she was, because I didn't even know she was around during this Epstein kitty diddling thing. So now that has been put out there, somebody's got to go over a microphone. Hey, Marla, and she'll be say, "What is that?"
She might not. She might be just waiting for someone to ask her.
I'm just like, all right. I'm just waiting for somebody.
Some people have something they want to get off their chest, but they don't want to be.
Yeah, but you know what they do then? I don't know if you know this tactic. It's think back 65 years. I know something you don't know. That's what they would say. I know something you don't know. What?
I never said that when I was 65.
Not you, no, but you had to have a little girl in your neighborhood
saying that.
You had to have a little girl in your neighborhood who did that. I know something you don't know. You didn't have that little girl.
When I was 65 years ago, yeah. I don't even know what was in my neighborhood. I know there was a car in my neighborhood because there's a picture of me standing next to one.
Wow.
What about all the other people on the list too? I mean, besides him, like the Bill Gateses and everyone else. And
now this is something I'd heard from one of the surviving victims of Epstein and Trump. She was saying that there were lots of powerful men there, but you wouldn't know who they were by their faces, at least not back then, because they were like CEOs of companies. Nobody knew who like the CEO of Coca-Cola was. Nobody knew who the CEO of Coke Industries was. Nobody knew who they were. Like Bill Gates, even though he was a billionaire, very people knew what he looked like. It's like, oh, that guy looks like he could be a Bill Gates. I don't know. So they're saying
I don't know about Gates.
No, I'm just telling you.
I know, I know, but you picked the wrong example because Gates.
I'm just telling you what she said. I didn't pick him. That's what she said. So she's saying nobody knew.
Everybody knew what Bill Gates looked like. She lied. Everybody knew Bill Gates, especially during the early '90s. His face was fucking everywhere. He was doing the pushing Microsoft like it was fucking.
Maybe if you were a young girl, you didn't.
Oh, it was you couldn't miss them, especially the young girl.
I'm just telling you what she
Windows
said.
95, man.
Argue with her. I'm just telling you what she said in the interview.
I'm telling you, she's a liar.
Call her. And so she was saying that there are like hundreds of men that were like that people did not know who they were because they weren't just like magazine famous. But she says they all knew who Epstein was and they all knew who Trump was. So because they were, aside from being Epstein's house and parties, Trump was famous, between The Apprentice and shit like that. So, and they're saying that she also said that none of their files have been released to them from the FBI. They haven't even seen their own files. She says she hasn't seen her files, and she went to the FBI in 2008.
New York Times columnist David Brooks wrote an op-ed about 2 months ago saying that Epstein stuff is just a witch hunt. It's gotten to the level of QAnon. We shouldn't pay attention to it. It's all just nonsense. And then yesterday turned up in like 5 photos with Epstein and little girls. So a lot of.
That's what I think the 95,000 photos that were just recently received by Congress could come in handy if these CEOs or rich, powerful people are in those pictures. Some of the pictures, some of the girls could then have like faces and go like, that's the guy who bent me over the table and forced me to do such and such,
Bent over the table, you say?
Or put me in a dentist chair, or threw me on the massage, whatever.
Yeah, what the hell was that dentist chair about? I mean, were they weren't scraping teeth, right? Doing teeth cleanings, free teeth cleaning with every break.
I guess any young girl that had was a dental vaginas, they had them removed there, I guess, like their pubic teeth. I don't know. Good morning, Mr. Evil. And good morning, Mr. Mickey.
So did Elizabeth Croydon? You guys, you know Elizabeth. You know her. You've heard of her, right? Elizabeth Croydon. She put herself on the calendar for this morning, but not here. Is that unusual? It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
And she did that recently, right? As opposed to like the same time that she put the other one in, like getting the two Fridays mixed up.
She did it Monday morning, this Monday morning, after all the invitations had gone out for people and all the buckets were created. She did. I'll be on Friday.
Well, these DEI hires. This is what happens. I mean, I can't even believe we're giving a bonus to some of these lazy DEI hires in the military. I mean, what is this, socialism?
That's not a bonus.
Just think, had the country, let's say, been founded in 1222, they'd only be getting $1,200.
Well,
the whole amount is based on the year that the country was, quote, founded, 1776.
It's another fucking shell game, though, and that's
yeah.
It's the housing allowance that Congress had approved for the military. He's just taking that away and calling it a Trump bonus. And taking credit for something that Congress had approved for the military people. It's just such a fucking disgusting. Like, look at me. You don't get enough love. Love me more. Could you love me more? Yeah, so I don't know. This is why I just want to cancel today and just lay in bed and moan and cry and maybe smoke weed and have a Snickers bar. Because you're not yourself when you're not stoned. I don't know. Brought to you by not Snickers.
Last night I accidentally I became aware of another Japanese band. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's Hagane, Hagane, Hagane.
Yeah, you pronounced it right. I'm sure.
It's an all-woman band.
Oh,
really, really good. Now of course I hate endorsing bands when they're singing in another language because I don't know what the words are that they're singing. And so they could be saying all kinds of really racist, hateful stuff in their own language, and everybody's going, yeah, burn them, and I have no idea what they're saying.
Well, I think you have to have a torch. If you can't yell that without a torch, you have to be holding a torch.
Well, you can yell without a torch. I just did. Burn them. See, you don't.
Yours wasn't
in Japanese.
Or authentically, like in line with the band. You really weren't saying burn them, were you? You didn't really want them burned.
I don't know. I don't speak Japanese. But the thing is that the other day, what's his face? The one who was asking about my favorite bands, and I said X Japan. I do like X Japan, but that's not the band I was thinking of. I was thinking of another Japanese band whose name I can't remember at all.
Japanese bands.
Yeah. And it's not like Yellow Magic Orchestra or, I know who they are.
I don't know a single Japanese band. I know there was one that kept popping up on my Facebook feed about a year ago. Really hot looking chick singer singing covers really well, but like really schmaltzy soft rock covers, Carpenters and Melissa Manchester and stuff, but they're really good. They were doing a really good job of it. I don't know any Jap bands. X Japan, X.
Japan X. I pulled X Japan. I found I pulled a muscle last night because
I thought I felt something.
Yeah, I found
it's not really a muscle. It's more like an appendage.
I found this song that I used to love to sing all the time, and I never got to play it with another band. I never, it's one of those songs I want back when I was doing covers. I wanted to cover and never got to cover it. And it came on my feed last night. And so it was just like a 10-second clip or something on TikTok. So I went to YouTube and looked at the entire thing, the 6-minute song. And I was like so happy to hear it. I started singing along. And that's how I pulled a muscle. Because some of the notes, I was like, oh shit, I can't hit that anymore.
But the muscle or vocal cord? I mean, what muscle?
No, I pulled the muscle. My back, my thigh. I squeezed my butt cheeks too hard trying to hit the note. I was pushing my everything. I think I sprang a diaphragm. I was trying to push that note out so hard.
So, but where was the muscle that got pulled?
All over. I was like, I was.
Oh, you pulled muscles.
Yeah, but it was like interconnected.
Did you pull them from a shell?
Interconnective tissue.
No, you didn't pull.
I didn't pull it from Michelle.
What's the song?
Muscles? I would have pulled it for Michelle, but Michelle says I'll pull my own muscles.
Oh, all right. Well, that's all. That's all we have for you.
I can squeeze that game too.
I should go look for Elizabeth Croydon saying, "Are you coming or are you not coming?" Maybe she's back next Friday.
Matt, have you ever covered Hocus Pocus by Focus?
Not covered it. No, we did it at rehearsals a couple of times, and it was
yeah.
And everybody wanted to take a shot at and nobody did well. And it's just like, no, this is just silly. Nobody's gonna dance to it. Everybody's gonna throw shit at us. No, and so we thought about it. We rehearsed it. I wanted to rehearse. We tried it at rehearsal, and then said, "No."
I never even got to try it in rehearsal with other. But I only got to show it off for like my friends.
The other one, like that, Frankenstein by Winter. Which one of those? One of the Winters. Johnny
Winter.
Yeah, Edgar Winters.
Yeah,
wasn't he an albino or something?
He looked albino.
Yeah, him and his brother were both. They were albino twins, right? Edward Winter, Jonathan Winters, Shelley Winters, and
the Winters band was badass.
Now you say bad. You were saying bad, but you mean good.
No, when I say bad, I mean horrific.
Oh,
they were terrible.
Oh, they were. They were
the Winters band, Jonathan, Shelley, and Edgar before the breakup. Yeah, they were terrible.
But there was a thing with Shelley Winters where she got banned from the Tonight Show. I forget what she said, but she was being overly sexual or something with Johnny or something. But she got banned.
Oh, really? You know what it is? You can be overly sexual with him if you're his type.
Yeah, not if you're a big fat ugly woman. No, it's not.
Because he's still like Betty White. He asked Betty White out, not White out the product, but the woman.
Can I get a little Betty White out? What? I was prepared to talk to Elizabeth about the Epstein Trump files. Now, this woman came out. She said she's on the board of the Kennedy Center. She said it wasn't a unanimous thing. I kept trying to say no, and they kept muting my line or whatever. She was saying they're not letting me vote or not letting me. They wouldn't listen to me. So she was saying it wasn't unanimous, this whole renaming the Kennedy Center. Do you think when he's gone, this is being over optimistic, like he might be gone someday, because I don't think he's ever, like Satan, he's never going to go away. But if he does go away, that they'll undo all this nonsense to pull all the names down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think the first reasonable president will do it. I don't know about party, but the first reasonable president is going to say, this shit was way out of hand. It's got to stop. We have to erase. Maybe there should be like one monument, like in the park, that says this guy was a dick. And that's it. That's it. Just one monument, maybe next to a Confederate general or some shit like that. Maybe next to Epstein. Maybe the two of them should have a statue in the park. Maybe in Pedophile National Park. That make that like a 1/3 of an acre next to a state prison or something.
Well, I mean, think about it. He's the the figurehead, but the people behind him are just as worse because they're emboldening him and just pushing for it, so that way, you're so distracted by the crazy shit, and they can fucking take everything else away from you.
Yeah, his supporters don't like to hear that they own all his bad behavior. They're they power him. He's like they're his ever ready batteries. Without their support, he's not able to do any of this nonsense that he's doing. And so they own it, and they're not going to be now. Dan Boingo Bingo Bongino.
Dan Bongino, yeah.
He went from podcaster talking about how the FBI is all corrupt. If I ever got in there, I'd expose all of him. Exposed nothing in there, and went along, and then decided.
Well, he did expose something. His
cock.
He exposed that he does not have the wherewithal to work a real job.
Right.
Okay. He was bitching.
I choose to expose myself.
Yeah, he was bitching that he had to be there 8 hours a day, and that he could hear other people in their office. It's like, really? Welcome to the fucking real world, where people actually show up in their office and you hear other people shit in their offices.
Yeah.
And they're there for 8 or 9 hours.
All right, but you're right. You're absolutely right. But what did he do before podcasting? I mean, you don't just go from a baby to a successful podcast, because he did have a very successful podcast.
Did he do MMA or something? I don't know. I have no idea what the fuck he was.
That's exactly my point. Like, how do you go from nowhere to having this really successful podcast? All of a sudden, that qualifies you to be assistant director of the FBI. Which, by the way,
you said that wrong. He was number 2 in the FBI. You have to say it like that. He was number 2.
But there was no. I mean, the only time you ever heard about a number 2 or assistant director of the FBI was when they were like on the bad, like Andrew McCabe when Trump made him an enemy, all that stuff. But other than that, you never knew who the second in charge of the FBI. You knew the FBI director. You never. How did that get to be a prominent position, assistant or number 2, like, and be on the news every day? Or that wasn't before Boingo.
Well, it's all part of the distraction. I mean, think about how many government officials now that people know that you never really knew before. And most of those people, they don't even do a lot. I mean, they do a lot, but it's just so mundane and boring shit. And people take one little issue and then they try to exasperate it. It's like, this guy is just a secretary.
Back in the day, when the government officials quietly did their jobs well, I'm not saying perfectly, but did them well, weren't fucking them up all over the place. That's the only way you heard about somebody is what they fucked up. Like, nobody had ever heard of, even knew that FEMA had a head until Heck of a Job Brownie. And then everybody knew who the fuck Brownie was. That's it. That's how you find out who's in charge of shit, is they fuck up.
Yeah.
If they don't fuck up, that you're like, what? Whoa, we had a secretary of education? I didn't know that.
Right. Why does Boingo get a month and a half to don't you 2 weeks and you quit and get out? I mean, at the end of January, what, the end of January? Well, do it today. Why does he get
severance pay? It's insurance or something, or maybe he wants to make sure he gets a paycheck through Christmas.
It's just not right. I tell you, it's not right.
Still my favorite thing about it is like all these boomers who have preached law and order for decades and just laying down. And I also enjoy that people are there. You can tell it's just like obvious lies, and people are just lining up for it. And that's what makes me laugh, because once again, if you had a guy that was lying in your life to you like that all the time, you wouldn't put up with it. And be like, go fuck yourself.
Obviously, and completely debunkable nonsense. Like the other night, and I didn't watch the speech, but I know that he said this. He kept repeating the drug prices are down 500% stuff, and that's been explained to the cult many times how that's just impossible. That would mean that the drug companies are paying you 5 times what they used to charge. They're paying you to take it now. But it still goes out and says that, even though he's had to have been aware of all how ridiculous that is, and people debunking it and just making him look stupid. And then he goes out and says it again, and they Okay. Lie to me. Say stupid stuff to me. He's taking you for a fucking idiot, and you're okay with it. I don't know. It's just,
well, the biggest tell with any person that's just a bad person like this, like everything he touches, it just turns to shit and gets ruined, and that's the path. That's the pattern, and people don't want to pick up on that. It's really just embarrassing because it's just
they're
so
in completely
obvious.
denial of it. The one guy, yes, this morning it was a comment on one because the other day we had a guy who has a film called Bad President, and one of the comments, one of the shorts on that is at least Trump makes progress, and a Democrat never made progress. Like, what kind of fucking stupid thing is that to say?
I put that post up there because I don't know what that is. Child in Time. I don't know that song.
By DP?
And I don't know. Is DP Deep Purple?
Huh. Could be.
If
I don't
it's
know.
Deep Purple, I figured you would know, Matt, because you're like...
Kev, it's morning here, dude. We are, and we weren't not that smart to begin with. But morning DP, double penetration is what comes to mind over here, because I'm a dirty old man. And no, if you shouldn't be covering a child in time with a double penetration. That's all I'm saying. That's not cool.
Well, sorry about that, Mr. Heavy. I thought I was upgrading. I thought we were going to have a highbrow conversation.
That wasn't highbrow?
I thought I was going to learn something.
You want my brows higher? How about that?
And now you say ex-Japan are great. Do you speak Japanese? How do you? Because I just hear the musicianship. I don't understand and the music at all. Not the music, the vocals at all. So do you sing along? Do you know what you're singing? Let us know.
You know what? Well, my grandson is taking Japanese tutorial stuff. I think of the kids here, and we don't know how old Heavy Kev is, but it might be 42. The kids in America, was that Kim Wilde? They're into this. They're learning Japanese. Japanese is the new. When I was a kid, Spanish was. Oh, everybody's got to learn Spanish. Today, kids are all learning Japanese. So maybe they. How old is it? I don't even know X. Are they a young band? Are they a middle-aged band? What boomers? Or are they?
Who?
X.
Actually, I don't. I guess they're in their 30s, but like they're old enough that they already. One of them has already died. I think the guitarist died. I think, unless I could have the wrong Japanese band. There was a time when I was like my feed was being inundated with Japanese bands. It started with remember that Deep Purple with Gillian. Now there was a young lady we had on our show, a young white lady who sang K-pop.
Yeah,
Olivia Wilde, and so once I friended her, out of support, I started getting everything Asian musically being pumped to me. And some of it was good. Some of it I was like, okay, all right.
Kev, good for you, Kev. Deep Purple with Ian Gillan. He's 61. Good for you for still playing in a band at 61. Oh, I played in a band until I was 65. And then,
then Trump happened.
Yeah, by the way, I got
and the thing, if Matt did not know that they were Nazis, he would still be playing with them.
That's true.
He would still and all of a sudden they would indoctrinated.
Let's amend that a little bit, because I didn't know they were Nazis. It took until he actually admitted that he was okay with being a Nazi. That's what the straw that broke the camel's back, when he said, "Yeah, no." When I pulled that thing on him with the dog. A dog always knows its owner.
A dog knows his master.
Yeah. So, and he said, "I know." I said, "That makes you a Nazi." "I know. I just like him."
"No, it makes me a dog."
I saw recently that like the band Foreigner is still around.
Yeah, but they're not.
That's what I mean. And I think they only have one original member left because they just recently changed out the singer for another.
Ron, what do you expect? Leonard Skinner is still touring, and the only one they have left is the mechanic for the airplane.
Yeah.
So
well, it's just funny to see this band dragged out there. They're all older guys. Minimum 60 is probably the youngest in that group. And they're like, yeah, we're Foreigner. It's like, let it go, guys.
Yeah, that's just embarrassing because I did see that they were on Fox News. I was like, if you're going to be on Fox News, well, all of a sudden Fox News loves foreigners. It wasn't Foreigner. I was like, are they doing it as like an acoustic duo? This is not Foreigner. Nobody who wrote the songs, nobody who sang the songs. It's just
that makes sense though that they would be on Fox. That would be their target audience now.
Fucking ex-hippies and fucking people, the boomer rockers have all become like these fucking MAGA conservatives. It's just what happened to these people?
People, not all.
They sold their catalogs, and now they're being used in TV shows and movies, and so now they just wheel them out and jump on that hit that they had like 40 years ago.
Yeah, who'd you name, GD?
My wife. Well, I take that back. She was a headbanger, not a rocker.
Mm.
And I didn't. You didn't.
I didn't. No, I didn't. I refused
to.
But
so not all.
But I meant the stars, the arena players, the.
Okay, John Bovey, whatever his name is, John Bon Jovi, Duran.
At first, I thought that last comment was a comment about the band Great White.
It is. It's about a GD White. GD White. And who's nephew to Betty White?
You leave my aunt alone.
I think Bon Jovi
is bad enough that Steven was stalking her.
Yeah, I think Bon Jovi is a Gen X, but it doesn't. I mean, I was talking about like these Mark Farner, Grand Funk Railroad. All of a sudden, he's like, he's the guy who I really looked up to in my youth. But he was like a fucking hippie doing fucking.
Yeah, and even still, how much of that is like for example, my mother was always progressive. As long as I've known her, she was always progressive. And when she got to her 80s is when little things started to slip in. And she used to watch CNN. She loved CNN, and she used to love Cooper, that the guy with the white hair, Cooper.
Anderson Cooper, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, DB Cooper. She loved him. And so I was at her house, and he came on CNN, and my mother goes, I can't watch him. And I said, why? She goes, he's gay, right? I said, yeah. And I think my mother just had a crush on him, and she was just upset to find out that she didn't have a shot anymore, even though she was like in her 80s. That's how it felt like. That's how it felt to me, like my mother got rejected by Anderson Cooper.
Wow, I don't know where we go from here.
But other than that, my mother was still a progressive.
I should probably roll a joint for the road. When the election when the primary was between Obama and Hillary
Clinton, my mother says, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. And I said, not Barack Obama? My mother says, well, either way, it will be a first. But my mother says, this is the strange thing. My mother says, I will always be a woman. I don't know what that meant. I don't know if she was referring back to the fact that she was so light that sometimes she was white and sometimes she was black, depending on which bathroom she needed to use. I don't know what she meant by that.
Well, maybe she just meant like I'm not getting the operation, and I'm not signing it, because I don't know if you know this about the Democrats.
But the thing is, she was in her 80s. I don't know what that sentence meant to her.
Because part of and this is something that every time I hear the phrase, I think, what the fuck?
The phrase that pays.
The one that Trump keeps saying, trans for everybody. Trans for everybody. Like, they're not forcing it. Nobody's being forced. Oh, the trans police the Democrats want the trans police to come to your house, cut your dick off, and give you a vagina, and sew your dick onto a woman who had a vagina previously or something. Trans for everybody. So
now, I have a question for you two guys.
I don't have.
I'm at that point where I don't like buying new stuff anymore because I know at some point I'm going to die, and I have to find out determine who's going to get it.
I thought it was trans people that are stopping you from buying things. Damn it!
No, that's a different story. So I'm starting to pull a Napo. I'm thinking about pulling a Napo.
Thank you. I thought you pulled one last night. I thought.
So that is like the stuff that I have that's of value. Get rid of it now while I could, because especially things like, okay, I only have two things that could be of value. I don't know how valuable they actually are. I have the two Tuskegee Airmen the two Tuskegee Airmen GI Joes that I have that were signed by surviving members of the Tuskegee Airmen.
When you say I didn't use,
I know. It's like I got two of them. The two Tuskegee Airmen GI Joes that I have that were signed by the surviving members of the Tuskegee Airmen, and there are none anymore. There are no more surviving Tuskegee Airmen that saw battle. Okay, there's some that did sign up like after the war, but they never saw battle.
Getting a contact high because I'm breaking up weed in my finger.
And I don't know how much those two GI Joes would be worth, because as far as I know, at the time that they signed them, none of them even knew that there was a Tuskegee GI Joe, Tuskegee Airman GI Joe. So that means that none of them had ever signed one before. And I don't know that they've ever signed one since. So I may have the only two Tuskegee Airmen GI Joes in the country signed by Tuskegee Airmen.
Tuskegee. Tuske. I don't know. Tuskegee.
So I don't know if I have the only two. Of course, they're only worth something if somebody's willing to pay money for it. So who would be the audience to want to buy that?
Well, can you prove that it was actually signed by them?
Yes and no. I mean, witnesses, they're all dead now. But no. Here's the worst thing. When we were down and we bought a camera, I bought a camera at the facility where they were. I bought a disposable camera because I forgot mine. Their disposable camera was so old that the film was actually liquefied. None of the pictures developed. So the only thing I would have would be having the signatures authenticated. But they've signed other things. It's not like, they've signed plenty of things. So it's not like they don't have samples out there. They were on tour signing stuff.
They're on eBay right now. There's GI Joe Tuskegee Airmen $749.99.
Are those signed?
No, but I'm just saying there's one that says $749.99 right next with the exact same thing, $29.99.
Now, is it
like why would somebody buy the $749.99?
$29.99 was the original. It was like maybe it was $25. I think I paid $25 for them.
There's one on there for $25.19. No, that's on Etsy, not on eBay. But these two are right next to each other on eBay. Why would they even list that right next? That's just stupid. Oh yeah, I could either pay $29.99 or $750. I'll pay the $750 because
now I have Colin Powell GI Joes, two of them, but I never got him to sign them before. He didn't. I didn't get a chance to get him to sign them, and they stopped making them because they had a conflict with the estate, so they didn't make any more of those.
Yeah.
But they're unsigned.
Suppositories as well.
What if I signed by, do you know the names? I don't know.
The last one there was Ernest Henderson. Ernest Henderson was one of them. The one that just recently died, retired Colonel David.
Yeah, there. I just signed. It doesn't say who's it signed by. It's signed by Tuskegee GI, signed by 3 original Tuskegee Airmen.
I got them beat. Mine is signed by 10 of them.
Signed by Mr. Hawkins, Mr. They all go by Mr.
Hawkins. Yep. Okay. Hawkins was one of them.
Mr. Palmer and Mr. Carter. This guy's asking $1,800 for it.
Okay. And I got
for all three. So
and I got
that's about the same.
I got 10 signatures on 2 different GI Joes. One of them is a pilot, one is a bomber pilot, and one's a fighter pilot.
They have to sign really small font. Oh my god! I mean, 10 signatures on one.
No, this is a GI Joe box.
Oh, on the box.
The box. Yeah, the GI Joe is still in the box.
Oh, you haven't opened it?
No, never opened them.
You don't play with it?
No.
Hey? Oh, that's a shame. You got to take it out and play
and the
with
reason
it.
why I'm willing to sell them is because I did have 3. I gave one to my brother for Christmas years ago. Now it was before it was signed. I gave it to him. I didn't like him that much. But he and I both were going to get the signatures because the woman he was living with was the granddaughter of one of them, one of the Tuskegee Airmen. And there's another drink, Slattail. And so she's his granddaughter, and she never got him to sign it. So I thought at the time that I had two nieces and a nephew, each one of them would get a Tuskegee Airman GI Joe. But since one was never signed, I thought my brother was going to get his signed and give his to his daughter. I wouldn't have to give one to them, and then I'd have my other niece and my nephew that I could give my 2 GI Joes to, and then everything would be fine. But my brother, he doesn't even know. Well, he's dead. Nobody knows what his GI Joe is, and he never got it signed anyway.
Now, let me ask you something. How did you get them signed? Did you go meet them to get it signed?
I went to an air show in South Carolina.
Wow.
Specifically to get them to sign them.
Apparently, there's a lot, not signed ones, but there's a ton of these. There's a big demand for these, obviously, or I didn't even know it was a thing. But
did you watch the air show?
Yeah, I watched the air show. I got to ride the Huey helicopter. I got to ride at the window. I got the window seat. Now I don't know it's because I was the only black guy there.
Oh. California Digital Library has Tuskegee Fighter Pilot from G.I. Joe Classic Collection signed by Robert L. Martin and Melvin E. Canazzi. And they want $1,900 for it.
See,
for 2 of them, 2 signatures. At least they got first names with them, not Mr.
Yeah, mine put their ranks on them for the most. Well, some of them did. Like I think Ernest Henderson just signed Ernest Henderson. He was the first one I got. He was the first signature I got, Ernest Henderson. And I remember that because my father's name is Ernest Fenderson. And
wow.
Yeah.
So your father was a Tuskegee Airman?
No, he was
Airman. I said not
Army,
Airman.
Army Corps of Engineers.
Airman instead of airman. That's my new thing. You're an airman? I'm just an idiot. That's all. I'm rolling weed, and when I roll weed,
and I think my father was attached to the adulterers unit.
Isn't that every unit?
I don't know, but according to my mother, my brother used to tell everybody that my father got shot in World War II because because of this thing in his arm. It was the vaccination mark. You know how the vaccinations left that little round circle in your arm?
Yeah.
My father had one of those, and it just as my father got bigger, the circle got bigger. It stretched. And so my father had that big hole big circle in his arm. My brother used to tell everybody that was from a gunshot wound. And my mother says, if your father got shot, it's because he was fucking his
that's what I was thinking when you said that. When my father got shot during World War II, I was thinking the soldier came home, the soldier whose wife he was fucking.
Yeah, so but it wasn't a gunshot wound.
Yeah. All right, then. So apparently Elizabeth Croydon just put herself on my calendar to blow me off today. And when I say blow me off, I mean not show up. That's what I mean. Well, I don't know. Why put yourself on the calendar and then not show up? What's going on? I got to roll. I have to go a long drive today, so it's a 2-joint thing. 1 joint for the way there, and 1 for the way back.
Yeah, you got a pregame.
You need to roll 1 more because if you stop by ICE, you need to have something to offer them. Look, I can't take an ass beating today, but look, I'm running late. Here's a joint.
Oh. I got today I'm doing the Grinch Who Stole Christmas painting for them. 7 people an afternoon thing in a restaurant, 2:30 to 4:30 in a restaurant in Queens. Like, that's a weird thing. Friday afternoon, 2:30 to 4:30.
I'm starting to think you don't like me and Ron anymore. You have these parties, you never invite me and Ron.
Oh, you're invited. Come on
Ron,
to New York. Come on.
Ron, how many of these paint parties he's had did he invite you to?
0.
None.
Well, thank you.
None. Not a one.
And he only invited me to one. That's because he needed a helper. And even then he didn't get to go to that one because it was at some comedian's house.
Some comedian.
I can't remember who it was. Some comedian.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, it was a comedian, right? It was some
Yeah.
comedian on Long Island.
Yeah.
Jackie Joke Man had a paint party.
Take a drink every time some GD says Tuskegee. It's a really long story. Just give them to me and shut the fuck up. That's right. And what would you do with them? You wouldn't take them out of the box and play with it. A toy not taken out of the box is a terrible thing. It's like,
it's not a toy. It's not a toy until you take it out of the box. Until you take it. Before then, it's a collector item. It's a collectible, or it's an action figure.
All right.
It's not a toy. It's not a toy until you play with it.
You know what whatnot is?
A whatnot?
Whatnot.
That's one of those ambiguous terms you use to say like doohickey.
Somebody, I got an email saying we see you do a live stream every day. Are you interested in doing a whatnot? I was like, what? What is a whatnot?
What?
I thought I was doing whatnot. Everything but
is that like a sexual act that we don't know about?
It's apparently.
Oh, so they wouldn't be lonely. That's it. He doesn't want my GI Joes to be lonely.
It's like an internet version of the Home Shopping Network. Whatnot? It's people selling everything and whatnot. And
I thought it was like you'd make knots on a rope and then you'd shove that up your ass. A whatnot.
Well, I thought
I think that's a love knot. Ron, I think that's a love knot.
I thought there might be an opportunity there.
Married, when people get married, they say they tied the knot.
Yeah. Untie the Knot by Taking Back Sunday. Great song, by the way. But I think that might be an opportunity now, because I just sold all my stuff. By the way, I started to say this before. I got a solicitation. You want to join a band? This guy great singer, a local singer here. He's starting a band. He had people get in touch with me. You want to be part of the band? You want to audition or whatever? I said, I don't have any equipment anymore. I sold all my band equipment. I have like one guitar, one amp, no pedal boards, nothing. You want to buy me new equipment? But so I'm thinking about this whatnot thing, approaching like Guitar Center, Sweetwater. Hey, I'll sell stuff for you. I'll be Matt Home Shopping Network for music stuff on the internet on a whatnot channel. Develop a whatnot channel and just sit there and send me a new guitar. Send me a new Taylor for a week, and I'll play it and show people how great it is, and then sell it.
There's a lot of that shit on TikTok. Like when you get to the like TikTok lives, it's just like it's like QVC. It's like, who the fuck is watching this?
A lot of people, obviously. I mean, there are big numbers on some of those things. You have to have, you have to have a certain, like 1,000 hours per month to even get live. People have to watch your videos on TikTok for 1,000 hours a month before they will let you stream live there. So it's apparently
that surprises me, because if you like some of the live streams that come up, and it's like, how did what the fuck?
I can't figure out TikToks.
I can't either.
Just mowing grass and shit like that.
I can't figure out TikTok either. I mean, sometimes I'll see like full frontal nudity. I'm like, and it's like I don't always see it twice because I have to thumb through it because I'm looking for something in particular. Usually, it's like, okay, yeah, naked people, let's go.
We know you go to porn sites. You can just say it. It's
I don't go to porn sites. They come to me.
I looked at Jackie's TikTok, and Jackie has videos, and it's all the same type of content where he just goes on there and tells a quick joke. It's like 30 seconds a minute, and some of them have 2 million views, and some of them have 10 views. And it's like, wow, what?
Yeah, it's strange.
It totally.
Plus with TikTok. if you post to TikTok, you shouldn't post and ghost, as they like to say. Like if you post a video on TikTok, you need to stay on the platform for a bit and like interact with it.
Yeah, or I just get on there. I post like 30 videos and you jump. That's my big part of my problem. Well,
so the
also my
algorithm
content
is
style.
picking up that you're not interacting with the platform, so that holds it against you. Instagram does the
I hate
same
that
thing.
fucking platform. They should have never. We have enough of these shitty platforms. No more shitty platforms.
Yeah, well,
I love TikTok,
Instagram does the same sort of, because like their big move was like, oh, we want people to find content and shit like that. So that's why like so followers really don't matter that much anymore. It's still somewhat of a component, but it's not as important as it once was.
I'm gonna send. People sending. What are you sending me messages? People sending me. Oh, naughty girls' rooms. Being what?
Yeah.
Leave chat.
But in another few years, when the internet is 60% dead, yeah, so that's going to leave 40%. It'll be like humans trying to get attention.
Now, I do have a Muhammad Ali G.I. Joe or action figure, and he did not get him to sign it before he died. But since he had Parkinson's, I'm thinking I could get away with faking that signature. This was like 3 weeks before he died. He signed this one. No,
Yeah.
But
did you see the Ken Burns? I didn't even know Ken Burns had a Muhammad Ali documentary until yesterday.
What was it called?
Muhammad Ali by Ken Burns.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there was also there was a documentary called When We Were Kings. I don't know who did that one.
Yeah, no, the Ken Burns stuff is because Ken Burns is generally, I think he's a great filmmaker, great documentarian. Like he's done jazz, he's done one on country music, he's done baseball, lots of great Ken Burns films. So I want to definitely watch this Muhammad Ali one now. I didn't know he had one, but knowing, yeah, I've seen a couple of Muhammad Ali documentaries, and I lived the era with him and grew up watching him, so I thought I know a lot about him, but I'm certain Ken Burns' treatment of it will make me say, oh wow, I never knew that. A couple of things there that he's just a great filmmaker. I know you guys were looking forward to his porn, Ken Burns, the history of porn.
I was looking at the one where it says Ken Burns and trying to find out what he's burning from. Did he ever figure that out?
It's probably gas. Or torches, or he was at one of those Japanese X shows where they were saying burn them, burn them, burn them, and they were actually asking for Bo Burnham, but nobody figured that out yet because it was in Japanese.
Okay.
All right, you guys talk amongst yourselves. I need to.
So Ron, how did the open mic go last week? I apologize for not being able to make it. I could not. Well, I could get out of my driveway, but my wife could not, and I had to be home to shovel the snow.
Yeah, no, I didn't do the mic last Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we had like that quick snow come in on Monday night. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to fucking cancel this because it was still brutally cold that day too. So I figured, with the snow and then the cold, we might have a couple people there, but I figure, I'll just do it this week.
Yeah, I'll be there this Monday.
Yeah.
But my snow thrower would not start up, so I had to shovel my driveway by hand, and that's actually how I pulled the muscle. I wasn't trying to sing, but
so the truth comes out. So you lied to us before.
Well, I pulled a muscle right here in my shoulder. But I had shoveling a 250 to 300 foot driveway by hand.
I got a voicemail here. The voicemail, and it transcribes the voicemail, and the voicemail is Person Clark.
That's Petunia Clark's cousin, isn't it?
Person Clark. I don't know. Person Clark. Your snow's all gone, right? My snow's all gone.
Oh yeah. We had 2 days of 40-degree weather and rain
Rain.
As a matter of fact, it's raining right now.
Yeah.
Now the sun's finally coming out here, so it's nice and sunny. It's supposed to be like almost 60 today here.
Yeah,
it's 55 degrees here and raining hard. So no snow, but lots of water, lots and lots of water. Yes, I have. I got to drive all the way to Queens, in the worst part of Queens, because it's on the other side of LaGuardia Airport, and where it just gets crazy around there. And the traffic, I could die in an accident today, so this could be the last show. I could, just hit a concrete wall.
I don't see, if you died, it wouldn't be the last show because the Reverend would still have his show.
Also, yes, and I just
it would be your last show.
Right, exactly. And I just paid up StreamYard for the next month, so you could just come on and do a whole other month there.
Oh yeah,
whatever. But you'd have to.
And we'll just have an avatar in your spot. We'll just put in your spot. Just have an avatar with X's over its eyes.
And none of the guests will show up because nobody will be around to create the buckets and send them the stuff. So
no, we're gonna have an in memoriam for you at the Epstein Trump Entertainment and Spa Complex in DC now.
Epstein Trump Spa and Complex.
And what we'll do is we'll open up the lines so that people can just come in and give a tribute to you. You know, like some guy will come in and says, I used to watch, matter of fact, I used to come on all the time. And then I left him for Barry Katz.
Barry Katz.
Thank you. My name is Robert Taylor.
You know, I want to tell everybody, don't buy a Charlie Kirk on the shelf. It just fucking leaks everywhere. I had to return mine. It's terrible.
Is it leaking from the head? Where's it leaking from?
Yeah, it's just from the head and neck area. It just leaks all the time.
Yeah, that's.
It's the Christmas season.
Charlie Kirk doesn't work.
Yeah.
The FBI and Turning Point are changing their whole story about that whole Kirk thing. Still, it's there's so many conspiracy theories and nonsense flying around. It's overwhelming with all this. Everything is bigger than it seems. Nothing is just a guy shot somebody. You don't get that anymore. And who was behind it? Was what foreign entities were involved? And so with the Charlie Kirk thing, the FBI originally came out and said, what did they say? It was 30-6, and supposedly the surgeon doing the autopsy said he had a neck made of steel, which is why the bullet supposedly was there in his vertebrae. Now the surgeon came out and he said he never said that there was no bullet. Like, what? 3 months later, what took you so long to say that? Why did you wait until yesterday to come out?
HIPAA laws. Actually, they have to now. You know how things are. Everyone is so litigious these days. He had to watch out for the bullet's rights. The bullet says, "Look, I do not want to be identified. It was not my fault. It was an accident. I was just pointed in that direction. I couldn't change. I couldn't stop, and so the bullet has rights."
Well, according to, go ahead.
I was going to say my opinion on the whole thing is it's pretty simple. He was assassinated. The killer did not fit the narrative that those guys wanted, and that's why it has really gone away.
Right.
If the shooter would have been any shade of color besides white, this would still be ongoing. And
he's trans, right? Or he had a trans boyfriend. Or
no, that's even a stretch. And who cares? Even if he was, you going to tell me all trans people now are super soldiers? What's the message? So we're dealing with super soldier trans people, or are we just dealing with another white guy that shot another?
Would it depend on which stage of transition they're in? Like, so for example, if they went from being a man to a woman, then they'd be a lousy shot. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn or the barn side of a broad. But if they went from woman to man and they get their testosterone, they'd become like a very good shooter, especially if they were white testosterones. Right?
Yeah. Well, the kid showed up in court. The Tyler Robinson guy had his first day in court the other day. And they're saying this is why the story's changing now. According to, they originally said it was a 30-06 regular full metal jacket. Now they're saying it was a flangeable shell, and what that does is it dissolves when it hits anything hard. And you would never do that if you were intending to kill. The reason you do that, snipers, police snipers, and people do that because they don't, when they're trying to take somebody out, they don't want it to go through them and through a wall and kill an innocent person or anything like that. So they want it to dissolve. The bullet that they're claiming this kid had is extremely rare, extremely hard to find, like $9 a bullet or something. And it's just like, none of that makes sense. This kid.
Wait a minute, that's Chris Rock money.
Huh?
No, that's like he was saying $5,000 a bullet. Never mind.
Yeah.
When I say,
I mean, it just makes no sense how this kid had to go looking and try to find a bullet that is only meant for law enforcement or military grade stuff. And where did he find it? Because there were people who
Matt, chokeholds are only meant for law enforcement, but they're everywhere. You know, nooses were only meant for law enforcement, well, actual posses. But then, as you know, everybody has one.
Yeah.
Every Klanman has one.
But they're very difficult to come to find. Even that Nate guy was trying to find them, and it's like they're not available online. Even he checked a lot of local places. Like, no, those are really hard to get. Shells. So this guy, he's the conjecture. Well, he must have had help. Right.
Well, he found the box.
You found the box? Well, that was he's apparently using Granddaddy's old 30-06 hunting rifle, which is really hard to take. It wouldn't stock the whole bar. Take that apart and put it back together. But Grandpappy had military grade flangeables laying around with the bullet. None of it. It's just weird. So,
well, like I said, I'm just waiting for reliable sources. Hiccups. Reliable sources. That's why I don't like to get into the weeds and listen to all this conspiracy stuff. I just, I'll be patient and wait for real knowledge. I'll be patient.
Yeah. Kev is getting more impressive by the moment here. He's got a 17-year-old son. He's 61. That means he was 44 when he got some young lady pregnant
or adopted him.
Oh yeah, that's true. He could have adopted.
There's more than one way to have a child.
He says, "I made him. Like, what'd you do? Like, hold his ear and say, watch this." I made him.
Yeah, that's what I said. And made him. That was the part that caught my eye. He says, "I made my 17-year-old son. I made him." It's like, okay, you have two choices. You can clean your room, or you can watch Whiplash.
Now, did you watch that movie? You know, Whiplash. J.K.
No.
What is that guy's name? J.K. something. J.K.
Rowling.
No.
Simmons. Oh, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
about the drum teacher.
Yes. So that would not make me love jazz.
I haven't seen it.
The kid, it makes the kid love jazz. He's just like he's a dick. He's a mean old jazz teacher, and
it's a good movie though. It is a good movie. J.K. Simmons.
Great movie, but it doesn't make you want to play jazz. It makes you want to run from those jazz snobs.
Yeah. Have either of you ever watched the movie Drumline?
Yeah, that was with the fake
Black
genius guy. Yeah, the genius guy, whatever.
I agree in that movie that the teacher is a dick, but there are some redeeming qualities in that, especially if you do any type of art and really want it. I mean, it's about really just pushing yourself. Yeah, is he a complete worst, terrible person for sure, but.
Narcissist, totally. But it's like, and because I've had so many teachers like that in the music world, especially the drummers, jazz drummers, they get this friggin' chip on their shoulder. Like, there's no other music than jazz. And classical guys get that way too. Like, it's really snobby about it, elitism.
Okay. Matt, since Mandy's there, Mandy, if you're ready, give us a thumbs up and we'll start your introduction.
You love that thumbs up stuff, don't you?
Well, this is why I know that she's ready. I don't want to just pop the camera on and she's like, "Holy, I only have one eye on," or "Holy crap, I was yelling at my kid," or "Holy crap, that my dog needed more pets."
I think that's fair game. If somebody comes in and turns on their camera before I think, and they're picking their nose while we put them on stage, I think that's fair game.
I think GD just gets on his bed every day on all fours with his ass up in the air. And he's like, "Come here, girl. It's face down, thumbs up for me today."
Yeah, but it's not on camera anywhere.
All right, I'm going to read this little intro for her, and then we'll
Okay.
meet her. Mandy Alexis fearlessly shares her experience with her drug and alcohol use and her eventual addiction to cocaine. You guys ever try cocaine?
I have not tried cocaine.
Yeah. When she tried to, I got to. No, it's too far away with these small farms. When she tried to stop and realize how addicted she was, it was after a very unhealthy relationship, and the feeling she was left with made her wake up. Mandy felt that, oh man, my eyes are getting worse. That she wanted better.
She wrote that? Her eyes are getting worse?
No, she wrote my eyes are getting worse.
She wrote your eyes are getting worse.
Yeah.
So she's been on this.
I know I read it in the first person. I should have read it in the third person, but whatever. She would need to reinvent herself. Let's let her tell us about her. Let's say
and tell us about the patent process of reinventing yourself.
Yes, how do you do that? Good morning, Mandy.
Good morning. How's it going?
Well, it's going. How it's going, I don't know. So how tell us how long ago was this cocaine
addiction? It's been about 5.5 years now that I've recovered from the addiction. But yeah, 16 years I was addicted to it. So that
I'm a little shocked, not shocked, surprised, because I thought cocaine was like my generation's drug, and that kind of went away in the 90s, and then people evolved to ecstasy and heroin, and I thought cocaine was out of fashion in the last 15 years.
So I just thought it was out of price range.
Yeah, well, I actually like in that time I did become like a dealer as well, so it was very accessible for me to get it. Obviously, like my addiction was paid for, right?
So let me ask you about, because last night I watched a thing with Rod Reiner and his son, and they were talking about the various trips, and had somebody who's had experience with this, dropping his son off at rehab, and Rob Reiner was blaming himself for his son's rehab failing. We left it all up to them. We didn't, we thought that would be a fix. I know so many people who've done the rehab thing, thinking one was enough, thinking they were done. Look, they're better now. Life is going to be good, and then they relapse, and then back to rehab. That whole thing. Did you do the rehab and more than once, or did you do rehab at all?
No, so I didn't actually go into rehab, but I made like huge changes about everything. Like with rehab, like I have alcoholic father and brother, and both of them have tried the rehab, but the problem is they go right back into the same environment and kind of just left to figure it out. Like we need a lot of tools in order to like get over what is causing us to be in that addiction world, right? Like it's not just okay, like I did my 12 steps and I did my month away and then that's it. I'm over it. Like it's way more deeper than that.
Yeah. So how did you actually beat it?
So I was lucky enough to be able to like go to Costa Rica for a couple months and be with a friend there. And like I said, I completely changed my environment, new things, being outside all the time. But going back home, like I really had to work on my inner world. Like I had to rewire my mind, like because of all the ways that my brain had structured around life. Like everything was a party to me. Like, going to bowling, going for dinner, like it would eventually lead to staying up till 5 a.m. with doing drugs with people, right? So I had to take myself away from that whole environment and really discover what was causing me to continue to be in this world. I researched like what was happening to my brain, what addiction does to yourself, and looked at what trauma from that could have brought me into a world where I wanted to escape from it so bad. There were many, many steps to this.
So what was the last straw? What was the
rock bottom?
The moment that made you say, okay, this is a bit too much?
So I had realized it when my brain, like I really noticed my brain was not working kind of the same as it used to. And when I started using like alone, like I'd be home and I would be like feeling really uncomfortable, just being there. So I would, get a bag and some beer and just take all that away. That was my first indication that like, holy fuck, girl, like you gotta smarten out. Like this is really dark. So like it did take me a few tries to actually like get through it. So I would go maybe like a month and then I think I was okay. And I'd go out and have that one beer and then that was it. The triggers were there and then it would continue. And then for me, like the big aha moment was I was dating this guy who had a child and I looked at my, pardon?
You sold it for drugs. The child.
I
No, I'm just going. No, go ahead.
oh,
No.
yeah, that was it. And then I'm like, oh shit, I better.
I'm in trouble now.
I asked myself, like, what kind of, like, if I were to continue in this relationship, like, what kind of stepmother do I want to be? What kind of woman do I want to be for him? Like, what kind of woman do I want to be for myself? And, I had an alcoholic father and like he was so unreliable for the majority of my childhood. And then like a lot of the times when he would drink, he would get very angry and, things would get broken and walls would get smashed. And there was no way I wanted to bring the destruction of what like addiction can do into a child's life.
Now, because you said your brain wasn't working, basically say, what was your brain not doing that it used to do?
I couldn't think as clearly. I know, like, I remember like sometimes socially sober, like I would just say weird things and then be like, where'd that come from? And like, not just like your standard awkwardness, like really like it just, yeah, like I couldn't think like I used to or function like I used to. And it really like, I mean, cocaine eats your brain. So, I mean, it makes sense that my brain was deteriorating and like I had always been very smart, like in school and, being able to catch on to things quickly and very like good at being in any social setting. And when I started to lose all these things, it like I didn't want to, like, I didn't want to deteriorate myself into this shell of a human.
So in the 12-step programs, they all say people, places, and things. You need to kind of cut the people out of your life, people, places, and things. But the people is the one I'm really interested in. Did you have to lose all your cut ties with all your previous relationships, friends, and
Most
family?
of them. Yeah, most of my friends, yes. Like I actually had to move out when I returned back to from Costa Rica. I had to move out where I was living. I had to find a new place to live. I stopped like being social in the sense of like going to every event and going to concerts and going out for dinners and with people. Like I had a couple friends that weren't in that scene, thank goodness. And they'd pick me up and we would just like either go for a drive and talk or like go for ice cream. And, like I really was reinventing how I lived in the world, like, and it was hard. Like when I think within the first year, like I also felt really uncomfortable being sober. Like I could feel kind of my brain rebuilding and it would like, it hurt at times. Like my mind would hurt. And I would just push through and like knew that there was better on the other side.
Because I feel uncomfortable being sober always. I don't think you have to have ever had like an addiction problem to relate to that. I feel uncomfortable. It was just wanting an escape on this stuff. But that whole have you any? Do you go back to once you feel safe and feel like you've beaten it? Do you go back to those relationships at all, or you just
nope, because that was still their world, right? Like no, like there's no judgment. If I were to see them somewhere or they reach out to a message, cool, but I'm not friends with like that whole group anymore. And yeah, I mean, I moved to Central America. I live in Nicaragua now, and then I was in Panama, and then Costa Rica again, and then back to Nicaragua. So I'm constantly meeting new friends who like don't even know that version of me. So it's like I have this opportunity to present myself in this new light and meet people who are really aligned with me now.
I can't believe you're the second person this week who's been in Nicaraguan or in Nicaragua. What the hell's going on with that coincidence?
It's
the second
here.
cheapest place. It's the second cheapest place to live in the Western Hemisphere after Haiti.
Yeah, how did you end up down there, if you don't mind?
Well, I had been going to Costa Rica for years, and then things just weren't working out there the way I was hoping. And I had a friend that was in Nicaragua, and she's like, just come check it out here. And so in 2022, I came here, and then I ended up managing a hotel for almost 2 years, which was like insane. I do not recommend for anyone.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I ended up going to Panama and living on a small island there, which was also like had its freaking challenges, like super isolated, raining all the time. I actually went into a depression there, which was, I think, for me, almost harder than the actual addiction. But then I left and came back to Nicaragua. So,
damn.
Yeah.
So good for you. I mean, I want to be someplace warm anyway. It's pretty much summer like all year round down there, right?
Oh yeah, like it's like I think the coldest it gets is like plus 25 Celsius. I don't know. Yeah, I'm originally from Winnipeg, Manitoba, so it's like it's crazy winter there right now, and I'm so happy not to be there.
But isn't that like the cocaine capital? Or Peru would probably.
Well, Colombia would, I mean,
all right, but there's not a lot of it, like because you talked about if I see it, and like that's what I wanted to ask about, because it's so many people who get clean and sober or whatever, they avoid places where they might see it, and like that could trigger you back into it, and that to me, I'm not really understanding seeing it as like, oh, I gotta have it, but
no.
Yeah,
like so for me, like I was very strict with like myself for probably about a year and a half ish, like but then I was through it. Like I don't consider myself a recovering addict anymore. Like I'm just recovered. I'm just a new version of me. And so like I've been out where I know people are doing it. Like I can tell, and it's just fine. It's just I'm just not that, like I literally worked so hard to be able to be the different version and not associate myself with an addict or a recovering addict, and then I'm just living life like as this new version.
My sister has been sober for 20 years, but that's because she died 20 years ago. But her drug of choice was heroin, and when things were at her worst, the people that she was doing heroin with abandoned her because like she was like, oh, you can't handle your heroin. you can't hang out with us anymore.
You're a buzzkill.
Yeah. Well, addicts, like, I mean, they are addicted to that thing. Like I can see, like, looking back with our group, like, it's like when we were wanting it, that's all we cared about. Like we were like, that's what we want, and and we want to live this life, and we want to do this drug. And if if sometimes after, because I still used after I wasn't dealing, and if we couldn't find it right away, like that became our mission for the night, was to like find the cocaine. And so it's like your brain that's all it can focus on. And if you're still in that world and somebody else doesn't want to be in that world, like it's easy to just be like, okay, well, this is what I want. And if you're out, you're out. Right. So it's a harsh reality, right? Like,
yeah, and that happens to a lot of addicts though, too, is that, they will get treatment or whatever, but then they'll go back into that same space. And then on top of that, even if it's your family, sometimes your own family isn't even cognizant of it. And say like you're drinking or something, and someone in your house could be like, "Yeah, it's just gonna knock some back," and you're like,
"Yeah, that's absolutely true." And this is Kevin in the chat room says, "Did you try new hobbies, interests, or to help you out?" I was gonna say that I think the business, the entrepreneurship that you've gotten involved in is probably part of that, and we'll get to that in a moment. But this idea now you're working, or you did work in a hotel, that's like a social thing where people are drinking all the time. Is that the drinking? Is the casual social drinking? Is that a trigger?
So the drink, no, I can have drinks without getting the trigger to have cocaine. Like I said, like I was super strict with myself, and then because before, when I thought I was able to have a couple drinks and then be fine, like I wasn't, so I would stumble back into it. So like, I learned that about myself very quickly, that this needed to be my new norm. So I went like a long time without like putting myself in those situations, right? So yeah.
Now, was there a particular drink that you like that would trigger you then? Is like it was just alcohol in general?
Honestly,
Like I could
anything.
drink beer, but I could drink beer but not wine. I could drink wine but not vodka. I could drink vodka but not rum or something.
It was whatever. It was just that you get a little buzz on, and then like my brain would just be like, let's get high. Like it was just like it didn't matter what it was. Yeah.
But what about the people that are really like, besides being physically addicted, the reason that some people drink or do drugs too is psychological, whether some trauma that happened in their life, maybe they're extremely OCD and that's why they drink or do drugs as well, because it just becomes like, oh, I just have to do it because it's so compulsive.
Yeah. And I mean, like, this all comes down to like the self-awareness of like who that person is, like, and finding the healthier ways and the healthier tools to get through the uncomfortableness of being human, because everyone experiences some form of being uncomfortable in their own body. Like, and like, it's easy to turn to alcohol, especially because it's so socially acceptable, right? Like it's just there, and we're literally programmed to think that that is what you do. Like you see it on all the TV shows and all the movies that, oh, after a hard day of work, like, yeah, get a glass of wine, or all the sophisticated men are having scotch, like at the end of the day. Like you see it all the time. So we are programmed to believe that this is how you relax, this is how you look cool, this is
How you socialize. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And I
there's that layer of it that we're indoctrinated from the get-go to have this as a part of our life, and not everyone is wired to be able to do it socially and can get addicted, so.
But the other side of it is, I mean, you're right, like alcohol is so socially acceptable, but then when someone does get addicted or whatever, then they almost become a pariah. It's like, oh, you couldn't handle this, even though it's like every corner you turn to.
Yeah, and that's society's fault. Like it has nothing to do with not being able to handle it. It's just you whoever that person is was wired differently, or just like got into it too hard without maybe any kind of guidance on that it was too much. Like, like, because some people are afraid to also tell their friends or family, like, you got a problem, like, and so then they just keep going deeper and deeper into it. And yes, the person has to want the change, but to have a support system is like so important, to be able to have the people who will like want you to help, or want you to want it. And it might not be well received sometimes. Like I've had interventions with my brother, being like, you need to smarten the fuck up, and he doesn't want to look at himself yet. But if I were to like stand aside and not say anything, and then he drinks himself to death, like I'm not going to feel very good about that. So it is hard to find that balance of when do you step in and when do you don't, right? And not everyone can find the right words or the right time, or the courage.
I know in my family, one of the prevalent means of dealing with things was like if we knew that one was addicted, like one of my brothers was addicted to crack, and rather than address it, my mother says, yeah, you can have him over, just hide your shit. Just hide your shit because he'll steal it. So everybody knew that he was addicted to crack, but the solution was hide your valuables. That was the solution. I had cousins that were addicted to things like heroin, cocaine, and it was the same thing. When I was younger, my mother would actually just use them, would point them out to me as like a life lesson, because I was like a very bright child, and my mother would say, you're not special. There are other geniuses out there. See your cousin so and so, she's a genius and she's addicted, and you see her and she's like, it's like, I don't want to be like that. Well, so we didn't help anybody. We just pointed them out.
Well, a friend of my friend, his dad was in Vietnam, and when he was over in Vietnam, he was on one of the bases. He was a helicopter mechanic, and there was a guy in his unit that was like using drugs and shit over there. So the captain assigned these couple guys, said every day he gets off work, you take him to the bar, get him completely hammered and passed out, and take him to the barracks and let him. And they did that for 6 months before he left country, when his tour was over. So you can imagine when he went home, he probably wasn't doing drugs anymore, but he was a hell of an alcoholic.
Yeah, you just change your addiction, and that's tough too. Definitely not the way I would suggest to solve the problem.
Well, when you talk about what you would suggest, this is what I'm curious in, because it seems, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, if anything I'm saying is not accurate, you please correct me, but it seems like your approach is 180 degrees counter to the 12-step program, because they start out with saying accept that you're not in control of anything. And it feels like what you're saying is you took control of your life and you said, I am in control of this.
Yeah. I feel, like I said, I didn't go through the program, and I do have some people that have gone through it. And I feel like they put such limitations on people. Like, they tell you're always going to be in recovery. Like, you always need to, it's like, why would you want someone to believe that they're always going to be this victim to this life?
Right.
And like, it right there, they're setting them up for failure, because they already think that they're already always going to be an addict. And it's like that they're going to struggle with that, like knowing that that's their identity forever. Like, and you do have control. Like, everyone has control. And I'm not saying it's easy or there's one thing that you can do, but we most definitely can take control of our lives. And like I mentioned earlier, like, understanding our inner world and finding the tools to help like move through the discomfort or trauma or limiting beliefs, like, that is what's going to catapult you into a life that you actually feel that you want deep down, or even on the surface, right? Like,
right. So your ideology or your perspective on this resonates with me, because what you're trying to get is your life back. You don't want to become a slave. Now, you gave up your not you, people who in AA or whatever, they give up their addiction for being addicted to going to meetings and having a sponsor, and just always needing somebody there, a crutch to lean on. That, so you're not really gaining your life back with that. And if it works for you, it's your life, you do what you want. It just seems to me like you're trading one prison for another with that stuff, and I appreciate
and honestly, I do believe it's important to have like a support system, but it shouldn't be like, it shouldn't be explained that you're going to need the support like forever. And like, some people, it helps going to these meetings and talking about stuff, but I don't think that's the thing you need to be doing for the rest of your life. I think it keeps you in that circle of the identity, right? Like I said, but so
right.
yeah.
Yeah. So MandyAlexisMotivation.ca, which is a Canadian domain. I'm interested in this because first of all, I was listening to George Carlin on motivation last night. He said, in my view, we have too much motivation. The religious zealots, serial killers are motivated. I think we have way too much motivation. And a lot of that resonated with me as well. Did that help you? Was that part of your recovery, is starting the business, or did that come after the cloud had kind of disappeared?
So actually, like, my website is mainly like my motivational art. So when I was first trying to find like a community to help lift me up without it being the AA community, I joined some motivational and inspirational Facebook groups. And one of the things that we were told to do is to create motivational or inspirational like memes or things to help like uplift the people in the group, but also yourself. Because when you're writing down this stuff, like it's another form of like being able to like solidify it within. So I started doing that, and then discovered like I had this love for photography, which also helped. Someone had asked about hobbies and interests. So then, finding like this beauty in the world and then creating my own motivational art. Now I focus a lot on the photography, and I am creating like a journey inward workshop. But it did start years ago with just trying to create an inspirational space for people, like just like minuscule, right? And it's kind of grown from there. Yeah.
I have a question for you. It's not drug related at all.
Okay.
You came from Canada?
Yes.
Canadian.
So what was the adjustment like for you? The animals that you saw in Canada versus the animals and insects that you saw in Nicaragua, that place. And I can't pronounce it unless I'm reading it.
Nicaragua. Yeah. I mean, it's very, very different. Like, we have monkeys here and big lizards and like different types of birds. And, when I was in Panama, we saw stingrays all the time. And, the red frog. Yeah. So very different.
Are you still amazed? I mean, are you still amazed at stuff, or is it? Because I'm sure in Canada, if you were in Canada, after a while you saw Canadian goose, you'd be like, oh, another Canadian goose. Okay. Or do you just call them goose because they're in Canada? Now, but now in South America, it's like, oh, look, another macaque.
No, actually, one of the things that like kind of has helped me just in general, like especially like because the depression thing is pretty recent that happened, but is like finding the beauty in the world and like always being at awe. Like, I really tap it into like the like little Mandy inside, right? Like, when you're first discovering things as a child, like everything's exciting and whatever. And when I was getting through my depression, I really needed to tap into that because like I was at the point where like it didn't feel like there was a point in living, right? So to get out of the house and just be in awe with like nature and animals and just the beauty of all that, like I needed that to be able to see like beauty and life and colors, and so now I still carry that with me. Like, I'll see the same butterflies, like the gorgeous blue butterflies here, and every time I see it, like I smile. Like, and that's a personal choice to be able to still see it, but I find it super beneficial to not forget about all the beauty in the world just because you've seen it once. Like, you're in love with somebody, you see them once, and like, you see them, you're like, oh my God. And then you see them again and again and again. You're going to still see that beauty, right? Like, let's
in theory,
use that in other parts
on
of
paper.
Well, I would hope that you would continue to see that first spark and beauty that you see in them.
On paper. Now, I have one last nature question. Because there are things in like we don't, like in Maryland, we don't have porcupines. And I can see a kid growing up in Maryland seeing a porcupine for the first time, not knowing that you really shouldn't pet it the wrong way. What was your learning curve like for the things that you could and could not touch down there as far as animals go, or even plants?
Yeah, well, plants, I would be very careful just because, like, yeah, some of the plants, just from knowledge, I mean, just from knowing how the world is. But yeah, plants, I'm very careful not to just walk into any field or jungle and stuff. But I mean, my boyfriend is Nicaraguan, so I'm lucky to have a little bit of a guide of like what is safe and what isn't safe. But I mean, yeah, there's been times where like you want to approach an animal and then your instinct kind of may kick in and be like, maybe not. Like, we don't know how this thing reacts, like, so I play on the side of caution when it comes
So as
to
long as you and
wild.
your boyfriend are on good terms, you're safe. But if for some reason he's mad at you, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's safe to touch that. Yeah, go ahead. Eat as much as you want. That's edible. Go ahead. Yeah."
Well, he would never do that, even if we were on bad terms. But
On paper, he'd never do that. Yeah.
Just a quick thing that came to mind when Gigi's talking about this. There was a guy, John Brennan, who used to work for me when I worked for the Cult as an audiovisual director 30 years ago. And we were in the hills of northern New Jersey, near Poconos, near Pennsylvania. And we came back to the hotel, and there was a skunk there. And somebody said, "Oh, look, a skunk." And John Brennan said, "I'll get it," because he didn't know anything about skunks. And he went running after the skunk. And we're, "Oh, no!" And then the next morning, we were in a ballroom that held 3,000 people. He was all the way on the other side, and you could smell the skunk on him.
Yeah, that's like, smell is so hard to get rid of. Like, we have skunks here, and often, like, I rescued a street dog the last time I was here, and he would come home and I'd have to wash him like 7 times. Like, it's disgusting. Like, that smell lingers. Like,
Whoa.
yeah.
Now we have a comment for you from Ann in California. Mandy, you have a lot to be proud of. You're clean glow and you're well grounded. Keep up the good work and best wishes always.
Aw, well, thank you so much.
With 2 little heart emojis.
Sing Kumbaya now. Go ahead, sing Kumbaya. Kumbaya. No? Back to your photographs now. I'm seeing most of the photographs are shot in portrait. I don't know if they're shot, but they're framed in portrait. These two caught my eye. Were these from a hilltop or from an airplane?
It's from the airplane, yeah.
Is that a special challenge because you're moving fast, right? Is that a challenge to get those?
I see something and then I just keep taking shots until I feel I got the one and stuff.
Yeah,
and I don't know if you noticed, but like all of my titles for my photography are like some sort of inspirational or uplifting title to just go with the theme, but yeah, taking photos from a plane. I got some great shots from the plane.
So Matt, the plane may be moving like 600 miles an hour, but the background doesn't move that fast. So
no, it's pretty slow when you're going.
Yeah, it's pretty slow in the distance. It's only fast when you're like right next to it.
Somebody's definitely. I want to paint this one right here. What is it called? Unstoppable Glow. Beautiful, beautiful shot. Now, any filters on these when you're shooting this kind of stuff, or is this just natural? You just get
I edited a little bit, but just to maybe just to brighten the, like, sometimes there's like for the ones with in the plane, there was like smudges on the window, so I just like edited out the smudges so you could see like the stuff. But most
of
it,
on the inside or outside? If they were on the outside, you're like, God, no, just did that. And who smudged the outside of an airplane window, right?
Like, I edited on the photo. Like, you could erase like.
Now here's a few that are landscape oriented, beauty in buildings and layers. But it seems to me you like the portrait. You prefer portrait, or orientation.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just the shots that I seem to capture and seem to work well. So yeah.
Wow. This one square one. That's it on Just Breathe.
There'll be a lot of square ones. Like when my motivational ones are a lot of square ones. So it's a photograph I've taken most of them are in Costa Rica. And then I have like the inspirational or motivational quote to like match the photo.
Yeah, I
So
like
those,
this. You're taking Breathe, and then you put it in a room, hanging it on the wall there, so it's like a painting within a photograph within a photograph. Or you like? I like that treatment. That's very, very cool stuff. And this shows you how it looks on the wall. Yeah. Any framing of these? Does framing matter for photographs like that, or you just
I
leave it?
mean, so you can get these like I have it where you can buy it like as a canvas, as just a print. You can get it framed. You can get it as like a metal print. Like there's a lot of options on. It's just the preferred look for whoever wants to purchase. So yeah.
Are any of them one of a kind? Like you don't do prints, like you'll just do one just for somebody. Like, have you done commissions like that where this is just an original one-off just for the person who's asked for something?
I haven't yet, but it's like if someone was like, "Hey, can you capture this?" I would most definitely. So it's not a closed door, but yeah.
That's normally how
seeing...
That's normally how I do my tasteful nudes. I'm like, can you just capture this?
I don't want it tasteful. I don't.
I don't want it tasteful.
Oh, there's my spirit animal, a sloth.
What is this? You can see this thing. So what is this? Is what is that?
It's not a sloth, right?
Let's see. I can't see the photo.
Oh, you can't see the photo?
No.
Oh,
he's got it down in the green area down. Yeah, it's my spirit animal.
There we go. Now I can see it. Yeah, that's a baby sloth. I was actually that close to it. Like it was just hanging in the tree after like down a path we were walking.
Where were the parents?
I guess they were up in the tree. They don't come down that often.
No, they come down like once every 3 months to poop.
Well, once every I think it's shorter than that, but I think it's like every
once a month to poop.
Do they smell bad?
No, not at all. No.
Huh.
Well, the babies don't, but the adults, they have like fungus and stuff. Well, not fungus, but algae growing on them, right? Because they move so slowly.
I don't know. The name sounds like it should smell bad. Sloth. Ew. So now this business is this is something what you do full time, right? This is your
Yeah, I have a couple things I do. So I have the photography. I do promotional branding, which is just something that I've had doing for like a decade. So it's just there. And then like I think I had mentioned earlier that I have it's called A Journey Inward. So it's all of the things that I have learned about the inner workings of being human that have helped me like understand like myself and why I'm the way I am and how to like heal from traumas and all that stuff. So, I mean, it touches on the mind, the body, the soul, like the nervous system, gut health, like tools that I've used to help me like regulate and release unwanted like energies and thoughts and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Are you gonna write a book? A self-help
I was wondering if I should put it into a book. Right now it's just there's like a workbook for people to have with like reflective prompts, and then each section is just like me giving information and talking about each point that it like and more that I've mentioned. So yeah, like I honestly I feel like I've gained so much knowledge around like how to be like what we are inside and humanness that I would just never was taught growing up. Like we're taught like, okay, go to school, get a job, you do this, like be a nice person or try not to kill too many people, all that kind of stuff. But like,
birth, school, work, death.
Pardon?
Birth, school, work, death.
Yeah.
I think I posted that short. The Rev did a little thing on the cycles of a life the other day, and I think I posted that short. Somebody just commented something on it just this morning. Anyway, and that's available on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, I don't know. YouTube's been having problems today. So now this it says about. Do you have a team that you work? Because on the website it says about us. And I'm thinking about us is about you.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that was just a typo. I should have said about me. Yeah.
So you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, solopreneur. Any other like business stuff that you're involved in that, or because entrepreneur is part of your bio here, I would have thought that there was some kind of, I don't know,
Yeah, well, the promotional branding business is my own. So it's Mandy Alexis Marketing is my business. So
Okay.
and then I have Mandy Alexis Motivation with my photography, and now have this new thing forming. So yeah, I've dabbled in other things, but nothing quite that I wanted to say for it to stick around. But I've definitely always had the entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, I opened up a business when I was still an addict. Like I was very much functioning addict.
Yeah, well,
So I
selling
first
cocaine doesn't count.
No, I opened up an indoor dog park in Winnipeg. I guess I would have been maybe 25 when I did that. So, but then, yeah, we closed and I moved on. I couldn't do winters in Winnipeg. Like,
So
oh,
did you close down because one of the dogs in the dog park was a drug dog and he kept ratting you out?
yeah, it didn't work. I was like, sorry, dude. Like,
So I don't hate to keep coming back to this. I apologize for keep coming back to this, but the traditional 12-step or recovery programs tell you that you never declare yourself free. You are all, it's one day at a time type of thing.
That's the trap.
Do you think that you can safely call yourself like clean and sober for the rest of your life, or are you at risk?
no, see, like I mentioned, like I do believe one step at a time. Yes, like you need to if you try to do everything all at once, like you will maybe it might feel too much, right? You need to move through this process in a pace that's not going to set you up for failure. But the whole like what did they say you're always what? What was the sentence that you used that they used?
I don't know what you, but
You're never free.
Yeah,
You're never free.
Yeah.
Ugh, like that really just makes me mad because you're putting a limitation on somebody. Like you are free. You have control. I do not associate myself as an addict anymore. Like I'm recovered and that's it. Now I'm just me. Now, like
I appreciate that because that again, if it works for people, God bless them. Let them. Or anything that works for you it's your life, and if it leads to a better life, go for it. But I feel like that is such a limiting belief that you know what, I can never be free of this thing. This thing is always there. It's my master, and I am just trying one day at a time to avoid slipping back into it. That's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy that you never one day you're just looking for something to trigger.
Well, it's you're setting yourself up for failure and to return to it. And like I had mentioned before, staying in this victim mentality that you are a victim to this portion of your life or this bottle or this whatever. Like, we are powerful beings and we can take charge and we can decide what we are and how we show up and how we identify and all that kind of stuff. And limiting beliefs are the things that keep people stuck and down and in a loop, right?
Yeah. So, but now you're on. I know this because yesterday I saw a Be a Guest pitch on on Facebook. You're doing this podcasting tour, and you're talking about this stuff a lot. Does it become like a new thing? Like every time you have to you have a conversation with a new person, meet a new person in your life, it's kind of like rehashing the same old story, right? And retelling. Does that become, I don't know, tiresome, boring at any point, or like
no, because every conversation is different. Every host has a different forum. Every host, has a different way of phrasing the questions.
Wait, so you're saying that nobody else has offered you tasteful nudes?
No, you're the first person. Yeah.
Not me, Ron.
I want to commend you because with everything you've been through and you're telling your story.
Thank you.
I think it takes great courage for you not to become a comedian. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is definitely a thing. That didn't even occur to me.
Thank you for not becoming a comedian or blues singer or just thank you.
Or poet. I'm going to write my book of poetry. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I think I like telling my story and giving people hope and inspiration. And, Even if just one thing I said like lands with someone and plants a seed to help them. And it doesn't even have to be just with addiction, just with any kind of shit, they're facing. Like,
Yeah.
I just want people to know it's possible, like.
Well, it's a good thing you came here because Matt is all about hope every day.
That's true. He's probably the most positive member on the staff.
All right, good.
The
We have one
infected
person.
staff, the staff that probably has 4 or 5 STIs. That staff. He's the most positive member on it.
STIs, strategic.
Yeah.
All right. STDs, you mean?
Well, for some reason they changed it to STIs.
They did change it for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know what's the I? Infection? Maybe.
Yeah. Or intellect. I think it's sexually transmitted intellect. That's when you have sex so much you get smarter from it.
Well, Mandy, I appreciate the inspiration, but lay off the motivation. Cause we don't. I agree with George Carlin now. This is the thing I hadn't really thought about, but we don't really want to motivate people. We want to inspire them, but motivate them. They might take it the wrong way and just do bad stuff. Enough motivation.
Well, I'm not voting. Nothing that I say has anything to do with.
Oh, what a beautiful frog! Let me go out and shoot up Venezuela or something. I'm sorry.
I don't think those types of people will be listening to me anyways.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck, and I appreciate you being on the program. You gave us some new stuff to talk about because we don't really talk about recovery and all that kind of stuff that much, but I think it's important, and I appreciate that you have a different insight than the institutionalized, programmable 12-step programs that are just pervasive and don't seem to work. And that's my. It's not just my reality. It's Rob Reiner, rest in peace. He went through that with his son. It just seemed we put people in these institutions. They go there for 6 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever. They get out. They declare a new lease on life, and then a year later they're back in there. And so,
yeah, like I said, my dad tried a handful of times and it never stuck. My brothers tried. So I've seen it too firsthand, right? So
yeah.
Well, I want you to take my number and Ron's number. If you feel like you want to be a comedian, call us and we'll talk you down.
Yeah, no, Ron.
Okay.
Don't take Ron's number because you'll get these texts that I get, and believe me.
I'm just saying, if you feel the urge to be a comedian, don't. It's a gateway drug to misery.
All right, I will remember that.
Yes.
No funny business. All right.
All right. Well, thank you for being part of the program. Good luck, and people should go to Mandy Alexis Inspiration.ca. So thank you for being here, and good luck. Continued success. All right. Have a great life. Bye for now. Oop, I cut her off right in the middle of it. Thank you.
I got every time. Yeah.
I know. Not every time. 99.9% of the time, maybe, but not every time.
Well, if you don't do it, then you hit a button by the wrong button. You were trying to cut them off, but you hit like a commercial or something, or fuck yeah, or
mannequin pussy, mannequin pussy.
Right, you hit one of those buttons when you're trying to get rid of the people. Yeah.
So I have to kind of run a little early. You guys are free to kind of just jibber jabber if you want. I gotta go do a paint party because paint parties are like life and death situations. If I don't show up, people will just be like, "Where's the paint?"
People die. Well, Ron, what shows do you have going on this weekend?
Nothing this weekend. My calendar is. I'll have a couple mics I'll fit in, but I mean, for the rest of this year,
So here's your invitation then. You got nothing going on? Come on down for a paint party tomorrow night in New York City. Come on. It's going to be fun. What are we painting? We're painting mountains, misty mountains, not Led Zeppelin, Misty Mountain Hop. Come on.
I got shows coming up next year, but no, I'm having fun right now. I'm really working shit and changed a lot of things, so it's coming together.
I'm going to promote again the podcast "What Makes Us Laugh" with myself and the legendary Alan Katz, and new episodes of Done Way Past Funny will be coming in January.
You can always find me on any of the socials, so I'm out there, and sometimes I put out ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, and check out the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, the Church of Last Resort, on Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What's going on
This weekend, this Sunday, the sermon is about Bridge Over Troubled Waters. That's the song that they're looking at for looking at God in all the wrong places.
Bridge Over Troubled Waters.
Yeah.
I'm just to Sail on Silver Girl. It's just where the God is in that song. I guess I'll have to tune in to find out. But it doesn't. I know Paul Simon borrowed a lot of gospel influence, chord changes, but it doesn't seem to me to be like a spiritual.
Well, you didn't know that the Verve.
You're right. No, you're absolutely right. I couldn't find it in my mold, and I can't change it. I thought that was like about a rehab thing. To be honest with you, in my mold, I thought I got mole. I got a mole. I
can't change it. I can't shave it. I can't change it. I can't cut it off.
If I try to shave
I can't freeze it.
See, here's the problem now, because if I shave my mustache and the mole is there, the mole has got like its own little mustache, and I can't shave that because then it will be like a gusher. I don't know if you've ever cut off the top of a mole, but it's it's like a geyser gusher. So yeah. So
there's one line where it's funny because unless you pay attention to that one line when he talks about how desperate he was, he prayed. And then he got an answer in his prayer, but the prayer didn't stick. He said, I got an answer, but it went away.
Yeah. You know what? I think that Looking for God in All the Wrong Places is a pretty popular, pretty good segment. And I think it's resonating with some people. Definitely people who are, fans of music who never realized there was this kind of message in there. And, it's good stuff. So, I look forward to that Bridge Over Troubled Water and hearing how that is somehow different than I imagine it. Have you ever heard Paul Simon sing that without Art Garfunkel, like do it on his own? Because
I think I have.
Art has got like such a angelic voice, and when
he does,
but to hear Paul Simon do it, and this is so weird. Like he wrote this song; it's his personally, and when he does it, everybody's like, I wish Art was here.
Well, the funny thing is, like I said, the vocal qualities of those two men are so different and complementary. But Art Garfunkel, Art was he was like I said, almost the voice of an angel.
Yeah. He still got it, but the last time I heard him sing was on his porch in New York City during COVID. But he still had it then. This was a couple of years ago, and he was singing on his porch, and it still sounded just like incredible. He's got just that God gift.
He's had more rest because Paul Simon's never stopped working, and Art probably. And that's a weird thing because if you're that talented, you think even if he wasn't like out doing songs that they did before, someone else would be writing music for him or
Jimmy Webb. Yeah, Jimmy Webb did for a while, but he got more Art. We're talking about, right? Because Art got more into acting. I've heard Paul Simon talk about what an odd duck. He walked across Japan. Art Garfunkel. He walked across and it's islands, right?
Which way? This way or that way? Did he go all the way to the tip? It's only 2 feet wide.
Paul Simon trying to describe what an odd duck Art Garfunkel is like by himself. Just said, I'm going to walk across Japan. So I guess I'm just assuming there were boat rides in between, but unless he Art Jesus Garfunkel, maybe. But so just, that's a weird thing to do. I'm just going to walk across the country by myself, and not America, Japan of all countries. So, yeah, strange dude. Yeah. So should I just end it? You guys don't want to hang out without me.
No, I'm really hungry, and I got some leftover Chinese food from yesterday waiting to be eaten.
What kind of?
We can end this.
I want to hear about the Chinese food. What do you got?
Honey walnut shrimp, green bean chicken, and something else.
Something else?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's.
I'll take a quart of something. Let me call my Chinese takeout. I'll order a quart of something else.
Chicken, green bean chicken, chicken something.
Would you like a pint of my dick cum?
No, but thank you.
All right. All right. Well, tune in Monday. We have guests scheduled all next week. Probably rappers. Not No, Monday is not a rapper. Monday is an author thing. But from Tuesday on to eternity. And Ron, we're going to need your help. I mean, you need to stop in more often because I gave. I don't know if you're aware of this. I gave some musician representative permission to put all his artists on, and he did. And a lot of them are rappers. So, like from Tuesday until sometime in 2049 or something, we have just rappers every fucking day. It's like I don't know anything. I know Eminem, I know Jay-Z, I know a little Dr. Dre.
I know.
Well,
I know Beastie
I'll probably
Boys.
be on a little more the next 2 weeks because I'm working from home a lot. So,
and it's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas,
especially with all the rappers.
The Christmas is next week, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Thursday. I'm scared. All right, so that's the show for you. Tune in next week, and we'll wrap all our way. Wrapping presents while we rap about presents. All right. Don't forget to
wiki.
Do they still do the wiki or the vinyl shit? Do they still? Because now you don't need that. You got like just a button you could push, right?
No, actually, the rapper Nas and DJ Premier dropped a new album last Friday,
Vinyl?
and it's fucking fabulous. It's fucking great.
Oh, you know what? Rap review. The wrap up. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
The wrap up and review or something.
Hey, Nas is Nas is like 50 or in his mid 50s, and he fucking raps like a guy that's 25 years old. He's fucking fabulous.
Well, this is what I'm kind of fascinated beyond, because when like rock and roll, like 50s rock and roll, that had a short life. Even that, the 60s surf music, that had a short life. Heavy metal had a short life. Hip hop, rap music started like the late 70s somewhere, and it's still going strong. And it's pretty good, true to its roots. It hasn't changed much. Technology has changed.
The message, I think, and Ron can correct me if I'm wrong, because back when I used to listen to rap, it was more like protest, and then it became commercialized and became about bitches and hoes. And that's about when they lost me.
Got my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Yeah, back when it was about social issues and stuff like that, I was all in, and then it got really commercialized, and everything was bitches and hoes and my money, my juice, my bitch, my hoe, suck this, eat that, and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Well, there's still that in rap, but there is also like what you're talking about, where like socially conscious shit. Because there are plenty of rappers out there. Kendrick, Run the Jewels is another one. Like Run the Jewels does what a lot of people call like adult rap, because they talk about shit that's going on and things like that.
I definitely need to get a playlist of some rap that has social consciously lyrics in it and stuff that is relevant to stuff that I care about, because I don't care about bitches and hoes and money. Because
I care about money.
I firmly agree that rap is missing a presence, kind of like Public Enemy currently.
Right.
Like with everything that's going on, there is no group like Public Enemy that is just literally out there grabbing people by the throat, and it's like, this is what's fucking happening.
Right. Yeah. Take your head out your ass and act.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. So you know what? The best way to find out about your socially conscious rap music is to turn on your radio. Bye for now.